The Grim Reaper wanted his son to succeed him, but he didn't realize the boy only liked knitting. Today, 3 Grim Reapers brought their sons to the Underworld Mountain. This is an educational institution dedicated to training Grim Reapers. The examiners there will rigorously assess the successors in each area. Only those who pass the assessment can obtain a Grim Reaper work permit. As soon as they entered, everyone began to demonstrate their heirs' abilities to the teacher. The person on the far right smiled crookedly and pulled out a coffin. The person inside instantly burst out and made a grand entrance. At this time, the 2 summoned a formation on the ground and then summoned 2 people. The 4 people stood there with a strong momentum. Finally, it was the turn of the Grim Reaper with a scythe to appear. When he raised his scythe, everyone was astonished. It turned out that his son was knitting a sweater. Then, at his father's urging, the young Grim Reaper took his place. The teacher then gave them a task: to gather the soul of a rabbit. This person caught the rabbit and placed the rabbit in feathers at either end. His method was to select by weight, but the rabbit turned out to be lighter than the feather. He immediately became enraged and killed the rabbit, sending it to hell. The young Death was startled, but the other 2 ignored him. One of them snatched the soul with his tongue. Soon it was the young Death's turn, and his father suggested using his sickle to harvest souls. The little Grim Reaper seemed to understand, then raised his sickle and shouted with a very ferocious expression. As a result, the next second, he actually made a pink bow with the sickle. His father immediately put on his hat, and the people around him laughed. The teacher was very angry, and then he killed the rabbit in front of the little Death God and started to teach them the second lesson, which took place in a very strange hospital. The teacher's manipulations pulled the girl's soul over. Their task was to retrieve her soul, but the girl noticed he was naked and flew up to the ceiling. The other 3 rushed forward to give chase, but found themselves unable to catch up. His father urged the little Death to hurry up, but the little Death paused for a moment and suddenly came up with a plan. He took out his scythe, engraved with measurements, assessed the girl's figure, and then took out some fabric. He cut it like a professional tailor, and soon a beautiful dress was ready. The girl, being chased, ran towards the little Death, and he ran headfirst into the dress, which slipped onto her body. She was delighted and quieted down. Then he happily took the little Death's hand and together they walked towards heaven. If you could choose, which Death would you choose?